Hey guys, and welcome to r/IdontWorkHereLady, the subreddit that proves whether you go into a store wearing the wrong color polo or a kilt, you will be mistaken for an employee. Just use your hands to pick up the needles. I happen to live in a pretty major US city in an area of town that is known for its homeless population and subsequent drug use, but also has a pretty burgeoning art scene as well as some really cool restaurants. It's a great place to live, but attracts a very eclectic group of people. This past Friday, the neighborhood organized a spring clean session for volunteers to pick up trash, plant shrubs, wipe down buildings, etc. I got trash duty and was given gloves, a bag, bandana, and one of those orange reflective vests. We were told under no certain terms to pick up needles, as it requires a special picker and disposal box. Just leave them. I had spent a few hours picking up trash already and wasn't looking my best. Bright orange doesn't look great on me. When I felt a hand poke me on the shoulder. I turned around and see a blonde, shriveled up woman a few feet from her Mercedes with two little kids in tow. Lady, excuse me, but my kid almost stepped on a needle that was left on the sidewalk. Me, yikes, sorry to hear that. Lady, well, isn't it your job to pick it up? Her voice had raised at this point and she sounded very agitated. Me, it's actually not my job, and it's besides the point. You need certain equipment to pick up the needles, which I don't have. Lady, well, just use your hands, dumbass! I turn around and keep picking up trash, walking away from her. I do mutter some choice words under my breath, though. Lady, it's so pathetic. You must be from one of those prison programs doing your community service. She then turns to her kids. Kids, take note. This is not how you want to end up. Me, I'm actually a volunteer, I yell to her. At that point, one of the volunteer coordinators walked up. She was going around checking on people and, I'm guessing, heard the commotion. We looked exactly the same, but she was carrying an iPad. Lady goes to her and says, "Excuse me, but I was just accosted by one of your delinquent prisoners who is refusing to pick up the needles on the ground." Volunteer coordinator. Actually, we're all volunteers, and none of us are supposed to pick up the needles. Me, waving to Crazy Lady. Told ya! Crazy Lady scowls and walks away as fast as she can. If using your hands to pick up needles is such a non-issue, then why didn't the mom just do it? And if you think about it, that's actually her job. Now, hear me out. As a mother, it's your job to protect your children, right? And those needles were endangering her children, so it was her job to pick them up. But she didn't, so I would like to speak to her manager. You don't work here, dude. This happened a few days ago, and I finally have a bit of time to type it out. I've had I don't work here experiences, but never a you don't work here. I was helping out during a large festival a few towns over from me, basically just filling in where I was needed. Employees came from various places, but we all had on the same neon green staff shirt, so it was easy to find us. A few people approached me asking why they started charging for parking. Weird because they hadn't, and I knew that because I had just been parking people a few hours beforehand. The group told me a guy in a neon shirt told them it was $5, gave them change and everything, handed them a parking tag, and then directed them to another neon shirt. I grabbed a security guy and we went over to see if we could figure out what was going on. This guy, I don't know if I should be mad or impressed, got a neon shirt and spray painted staff on the back. From far away, it looked totally legitimate, to the point we glanced around and didn't notice him. We approached him originally to ask him if he had seen anyone fishy around. When he looked up, I noticed a small face tattoo. Not that they wouldn't employ someone with a face tattoo, but I probably would have noticed at the staff meeting we had the day before. After that, we noticed his homemade shirt and lack of radio or badge. Security guy, S, talk to him, F for fake. Later we'll meet B for boss. S, hey bud, you can't just make a shirt and start charging people to park. If you give the money back and trash the shirt, just get out of here and we won't call the cops. F, oh no, John said we ran out of shirts and had me make this one. S, John who? F, John, big guy, he's around here somewhere. Spoiler, there is no John. It's funny he picked that name because we had 4 Johns the year before, and had made a huge joke out of not having to figure out which John was which since we didn't have a single one. We also way over-ordered staff shirts, so we had like 30 left over. S. I know all this staff. There is no John. There are also plenty of staff shirts. One more time. Give the money back and trash the shirt. F. Hey man, I don't tell you how to do your job. Why tell me how to do mine? S. This isn't your job, that's why. I tried the easy way. It's on you now. S calls the cops and we stay by him, making sure he doesn't try to charge anyone else. Made for a few amusing interactions when F tried to yell at passing cars to pay, and we immediately yell over him, saying there's no charge for parking. Cops come, and boss. B. Who in their right mind is charging to park? Sees F. You? Who are you? Cops walk up. Officers, this man is not on my staff, yet is charging to park in my free lot. F. Whoa, hey John, calm down. B gives a weird look like, who's John? You can't just call the cops every time we have a disagreement. If you're that mad I didn't order enough shirts, just fire me, damn. Me, S, and B almost at the same time. You're not staff. This guy was kind of hilarious. Cops took him aside and he tried so hard to convince them he was staff. They asked him various questions like how he applied, how much they paid, when we started or ended, and of course, he couldn't answer any of them. Luckily, since he handed out parking tags, printed at home and stuck on cardboard, it was very easy to find how many cars he charged and who. About 20 cars in the half an hour or so he was there before we came. Had he just given up when we caught him, he wouldn't have been arrested for, there's a term for stuff like this, something like unauthorized sales. It's basically a fancy way of saying theft, but since they handed it to him under false pretenses, it's called something else. Edit. Pretty sure it's just called fraud. Going to try to find his record to check. Edit 2. This incident they got him for fraud. Before he had been charged with unauthorized presence, some term for when you're in jail already and go somewhere you shouldn't be, and intent to sell that got jumbled in my brain. Had priors. Dude's gonna be locked up for a while. B made an announcement for anyone who paid to park to come to the main entrance. Managed to get everyone their money back. Pretty fun to be the guy handing people back money, but was awkward to explain about the fake staff member. Next year we're getting more detailed shirts, so they're harder to copy, and taking optional donations in the parking lot to give to our local soup kitchen. We figured might as well. Also gives us an excuse to keep someone stationed around where he was taking money, which was a weird turn that's not super visible from the rest of the festival. I just can't wrap my head around it. Dude put a lot of effort into faking his way into a job that probably would have just hired him. I bet he's in jail now, still saying John screwed him over. I really wonder if that guy has a hard time walking around. I mean, with balls that huge, you'd think it would be a little bit difficult. An I Don't Work Here Lady and r/ChoosingBeggars crossover special. I don't get why suddenly everyone today woke up and said, I need sour cream. We did. It just so happened everyone else in my town did too. And of course, once you've made the decision to pour glorified milk fat onto whatever it is you're eating, you naturally don't care for that light, reduced fat, or anything else they slap on the label to pretend this is somehow better for you. Look, I've made the decision to throw the least healthy thing on top of my already unhealthy dinner selection. I'm invested in my poor life choice. Nothing you're going to do will change that. And naturally, everyone else in the town feels the same way I do. So when I got to the sour cream and the god-awful sales they had, I was met with only light choices, and nothing else. From cheap to overly priced, I had no choices. So I get on the ground and start digging in the back. On a wing and a prayer that behind one of these light choices, one sour cream fell behind that row, missing the depleted row where the regular sour cream is supposed to be. I go through every brand, every size. Something. I don't care about price. This is for my dinner tonight, and because of the storms, if we lose power, I can still cook it because I can light the burners on a gas stove. And I find it, and just as I'm about to get up and put my precious find in my cart, I hear it. The sound of the little old lady, or choosing beggar, CB in this case. CB, excuse me dear. Me, yes? CB, I can't bend and I need a sour cream. A good one like you have. Do you think you can grab another? Me, I'm down here already. What the hell, right? I could use some positive karma my way. I can look, sure, but I had to dig to find this one. I can't guarantee there's another one. CB, that would be great, honey, thank you. So I'm going through everything, again. I couldn't find anything in the brand I had, but I did find a little misplaced one, in the corner hiding behind some cottage cheese. Me, hey, it's your lucky day. CB, oh thank goodness. Wait, this is brand name. Is it really? I think the price was close to $4. Me, well, I can't find any others. I mean, this is it. CB, none of the cheaper brand you have? Or this completely different brand? I like this different brand best. Me, now getting up from the floor. Well, you saw me go through this all. That's the only one I can find. CB, maybe in the back? Me, The back of what? CB. The store. You know they have more product back there they haven't gotten around to yet. Maybe you can look? Me. I don't work here. I can't just wander around the back looking for stuff. CB. But maybe you can call someone. Me. Call who? I'm sorry, I guess you can go up to customer service and maybe they can get someone. That's all I could find. CB. Can you look again? Me. Now, I'm very obviously in a back brace. I had back surgery and possibly need more. It's not easy for me to get up and down, especially in stormy, rainy weather. I'm sorry, ma'am. You can see I have a bad back and knees too. I can't keep getting up and down. That's what I found. Maybe customer service. CB. You don't have any more in stock? Me. Really ready to scream. I don't work here. You can go to customer service. I really gotta go. I start to go. CB. Wait. Really, this brand is twice the price. I'm buying for several people. My kids, the grandkids. You know how it is when you get old. I'm 36, lady. No, I don't know what it's like to be older than that. Insert long-ass story about all her kids and grandkids. Me politely nodding and whatever else. Wasn't really paying attention. Looking at my watch, trying to do whatever it took to get the hint through that I wanted to leave. CB. Finally getting to the point of this. With so many people to feed, I'm spending more than I already have. Me. Yeah, that sucks. Everything is so expensive. CB. Well, I hate to ask this. You've already helped so much. And I'm sure the brand I have tastes better than the store brand. A reward for your good work. We'll trade. Me. No, I'm sorry. I need to save money too. CB. But it's not like you couldn't have grabbed this one too. What would you have done if you had this brand in your cart and found the cheaper one looking for mine? Would you say I couldn't have it? Me. Honestly, probably. It wasn't easy going through all this twice. Consider it a reward for my efforts. You can try customer service. CB. That's very rude. I'm going to tell them how rude you are, taking advantage of someone like me. You could have grabbed either one. I don't understand why you can't get that some people live on a fixed income and... Where are you going? I'm going to tell them how rude you are to me. I'm going to tell everyone. I just kept walking. I wanted to turn and tell her again I don't work here, so I don't know who they are that she's going to tell. I went out of my way enough. It's a $2 difference. I get the cheaper sour cream regardless of if I found it first, I did, or second. The nerve of some people. You'd think that being kind and insisting that the person who just helped you take the cheaper option is just instinct, especially if that person's in a back brace. Also, the person who wrote this post actually has a blog, and I checked it out, and it's actually pretty interesting. They're really good writers, as I'm sure you can tell from the post. So I will leave a link to that in the description if you want to check it out, which I suggest you do. The bears make me uncomfortable. This happened a few years ago. I know I have the stink of customer service on me because I get approached a fair amount regardless of how I'm dressed or look. And be it because I've worked it a lot or just because of how I was raised, I usually help if I can and point in the direction of someone who does work there when I can't. I'm friendly and helpful. It's part of why I end up in the industry as much as I do. So my roommate and I were walking into the bulk store Price Inc. while debating whether or not I could do sales. I was adamant it wasn't for me while he was sure it was in my wheelhouse. For the picture, I'm a 6-foot Scotsman, around 300 pounds, and I regularly wear a green utility kilt. This day, I was also sporting a Disturbed tour shirt, had a half mohawk pulled back, and a nice long goatee. My roommate matches me in size, more or less, and is dressed similarly, sans kilt. Sucks to be him, kilts rule. We had moseyed down to the massive mound of paper products in the back and were continuing our conversation while looking at paper towels. RM is roommate, Zen is me, and CL is concerned lady. RM. And I don't see how any of that means you couldn't do it. Zen. Shrug. Like I've said, I'm too quick to take no for an answer. Besides, I've had bad experience with pushy managers trying to meet quotas and wanting me to pull some shady shit. I feel a tap on my shoulder just as I'm about to launch into my story, and I see a lady that looks like she could be a Doris Robert lookalike with a concerned look on her face. CL. Why does the toilet paper have to have bears on it? Zen. Excuse me? CL. Why does the toilet paper have bears on it? This is the brand I always get, but they added bears and it makes me uncomfortable to use down there if there's a face on them. I blink a few times. Zen. Show me what you mean. We pad over a few racks, and she points at a bulk package of toilet paper that has a bear mascot and points to the bits under the plastic. CL. See? It has bears on it. Why would they add bears to it? I look, and sure enough, it definitely looks like they want their customers to add some more brown to the bears. I grab another package and see a similar view, and then notice what's going on. Zen. Oh! Shifts package so the rolls separate a bit. This is a bulk package. It's got 4 wrapped and sealed packages of 9 rolls inside this package. The bears are on the outside packaging of the 9-pack, like if it was just the shelf. If you open that up, you'll see normal print. CL. Oh, okay, that makes so much sense. I couldn't understand how anyone would think it would be a good idea to have a cute bear on that part. Zen. Yeah, that'd be a little weird. Don't know if I'd want that either. CL. Oh, also, do you happen to know what aisle wiper blades are on? My face contorts in thought as I try to picture where it would be, since I usually just stay to the food aisles since they have free samples. Zen. I don't know offhand, sorry, but I can grab someone who works here if you like. CL. You don't work here? Zen. Nope, just helpful. Employees usually have red vests, or at least name tags. CL. Oh, well, thank you very much, young man. I'll go find someone who works here. Zen. No worries. Have a wonderful day. I turn back to my roommate, who has the biggest shit-eating grin. Zen. What? RM. Can't do sales, huh? Zen. That wasn't sales. She had a question, I answered her question. That's customer service. Different. RM. Uh-huh, sure. Devolves back to previous unimportant conversation. Not the typical, but it's been kicking around my head for a while. Man, judging by his description of himself, Zen sounds like a badass with a heart of gold. And I love how that lady was so concerned about the bears, as if they care that they're toilet paper. That's adorable. But all in all, this story really warmed my cold, dead, black heart. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.